Hey Marvel fans, and welcome to Screen Rant. So when Marvel Studios first started building out the MCU, they did it in a pretty straightforward way. With the exception of Captain America the First Avenger being set mostly around World War II, most of the movies in Phase 1 took place in the present and pretty close to each other chronologically, and it was pretty much the same way for Phase 2.
Come on!
But then we got to Phase 3 and things started to get kinda messy. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 came out almost 3 years after the first one, but only took place a few months after the events in it. Captain Marvel took place in the 90s, Ant-Man and the Wasp came out after Infinity War but took place before it, and then Endgame went and jumped forward 5 years. It'd be nice if Phase 4 just picked up then, but nope, it's all over the place too. Some projects will be moving things forward, but there's also a prequel in there as well as a bunch of TV shows that deal with time travel or alternate realities or both, so like I said, it gets kinda messy, but that's exactly what we're here to try to clear up today. I'm Greg Elliott, and here's when all the new Phase 4 MCU movies and TV shows take place. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is wrapping up this year with its 7th and final season, and after having some direct connections in its earlier seasons, but then basically ignoring the snap and the events of Infinity War and Endgame, how the show has or hasn't tied into the MCU is a big thing. The show will conclude with a plot that at least begins in the 1930s, and where it goes from there is anybody's guess. All we know is that the story starts then, and hopefully it'll clear up some of the show's larger MCU canon questions when all is said and done. The first MCU Phase 4 movie is the Black Widow prequel, which we know takes place primarily between Captain America Civil War and Avengers Infinity War, which puts it somewhere between 2016 and 2018. The movie is also expected to show some of Natasha's past, like her early days in the Black Widow program, her recruitment into S.H.I.E.L.D., and it might even finally tell us what that mission to Budapest with Hawkeye was all about.
Just like Budapest all over again!
You and I remember Budapest very differently.
Phase 4's second movie is the Eternals, and well, it could do pretty much anything. The story is definitely set after Endgame, but Kevin Feige has said that the movie will actually span thousands of years to properly tell its story. So while Eternals will move the MCU forward in time, we imagine there's probably going to be a bunch of flashbacks that will expand the timeline and universe in ways that we haven't seen. Another complicated one is Wanda Vision, one of Marvel's first exclusive shows for Disney+. It does take place after Endgame, but since Vision is definitely dead at that point, we're expecting that this one will involve an alternate reality, quite possibly created by Scarlet Witch herself. It seems some of the show will take place in the 50s, but it also has a modern-day adult Monica Rambeau as a sword agent in it. That's the Sentient World Observation and Response Department, which in the comics is kinda like a space version of S.H.I.E.L.D. WandaVision is supposed to lead directly into Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, so it should tie itself back to the main MCU timeline before everything is said and done. And then there's Loki, the Disney Plus series that's gonna mess with the timeline in its own way. The show will follow the Loki that escaped with the Tesseract in 2012, but he's not going to stay there and will supposedly be messing with various points in time in human history. But if the rumors are true about it connecting to Thor: Love and Thunder, his place in an alternate timeline might not be permanent. As far as we know, everything else in Phase 4 will take place in the present day of this timeline, which actually isn't even the present anymore. Since Endgame moved everything up to 2023, everything else should all be taking place close to or after then. So what are you most excited for in Phase 4? Let us know in the comments, and keep checking back with Screen Rant to stay up to date on all things Marvel. I'm Greg Elliott, and I'll see you next time. Adios.